Okay, I'm Chris Cuomo, and welcome to Prime Time. We are 3 hours to history. We have never been where we are tonight. Never. What we know for sure, America is activated. Almost 100 million of you have already voted. We have never seen numbers like this. And we're not going to know the actual accounting. We're not going to know the actual impact for some time. So please, if you listen to nothing else that I say, ignore the noise. Focus on poise. And not just because it rhymes, but because that's all you will be able to control. A lot is going to be coming at you, especially with the most controversial president in a generation actively trying to seed suggestions of fraud about voting and suggesting there may be violence in the streets as a result. Some populist he turned out to be, trying to suppress votes and rely on lawyers and judges to control an election. But are you really surprised as we look at live pictures of both candidates? You have the president on the left trying to convince this country that we are not in a crisis despite the fact that we are all living in a painful pandemic. On the other side, his challenger, Joe Biden, stubbornly committed to being the anti-Trump, determined to make the case that we can do so much better than we have, and that you don't have to divide to conquer. But here's the good news. In just a few minutes, really, we'll be monitoring to see if Joe Biden says anything worth playing for you during this show. But one way or the other, the campaigns are over tonight. It is now go time. We will learn starting tonight in our processing of the early vote, and certainly over the next few nights, how many voted, where, and why. But what we know right now, as a matter of law and fact, is that all votes that are made in time are legitimate, meaning legal, meaning they must all be counted. This current president suggesting otherwise is not just the height of hypocrisy. Why hypocrisy? He knows there has never been and never will be a full vote count by election night. And remember, he won Arizona and Michigan in 2016, but only after days of counting. So this is not just the high point of hypocrisy, but also the low point of his lies. Listen.
I think the Pennsylvania decision by the Supreme Court is a very dangerous decision. I think it's a decision that allows tremendous cheating to go on after the fact.
And then after he said that, just in case the message wasn't blunt enough, he tweeted, "It will also induce violence in the streets. Something must be done." Well, how about trying to quell the violence? How about trying to say that would be wrong, that would be bad? How about being a leader? Instead of somebody who is looking for the worst, why not trying to inspire the best in the heat of the unknown? Instead, Trump is doing what he does best, doing what he thinks is his best interest, inciting violence because the court is allowing legal votes to be counted. And in just a horrible reflection of where we are, Twitter has just flagged the president's tweet. Think about that. Our president flagged for trying to undermine democracy and our confidence in the same at a time that we need leadership most. Again, though, ignore the noise as much as you can. It's my job to tell you about what I must. It is yours to decide what it should mean to you. Focus on your poise and what your true north is. Trump is focused on the me. Biden on the power of we, especially in all-important Pennsylvania. Listen.
The power to change this country is in your hands. And I don't care how hard Donald Trump tries. There's nothing he can do to stop the people of this nation from voting. When America's heard, the message is going to be out loud and clear. It's time for Donald Trump to pack his bags and go home.
100 million votes already are in the bank. Think about that. Why so many more? Well, yeah, sure, we're in the middle of a pandemic and people wanted to avoid the lines and the potential exposure, but it has to be something more than that. It has to be that there is a statement going to be made in this country. The only question is what and what will it mean for us going forward.